So what can cause broadhead inaccuracy? There's several variables that are going to be in play there potentially, but first off, I'm assuming we're talking about fixed blades because they're the ones that tend to cause people the most problems. And so to start off, some things that can cause inaccuracy is your bow tune. Make sure your bow is tuned for broadheads. That means that when you shoot a field point and shoot a broadhead arrow, those should be right with each other. If they're not, if your broadhead arrow flies away from your field tip arrow, there's something wrong with your tuning. So you're going to have to fix that with your bow. All right, so then once you're shooting broadheads, let's say your bow is tuned and you're just getting some erratic flight from your broadheads, one of the things you may want to check is the end of your arrows. If your arrows, if you're shooting carbon arrows, if the end is not perfectly square, you can imagine the broadhead can sit in there at an angle. If it's not sitting perfectly straight in line with your arrow, you can have your broadhead flying off. So we've got here an arrow squaring tool. What I like to do before I do anything with my new arrows, set them in here, give a couple spins. What this is doing, the end here is actually sanding off the ends of my carbon arrow, making sure it's perfectly flush. And a way you can test to see if your broadheads are aligned well, this is a spin test. This is a very basic, I'm just rolling it across a flat surface, watching the point here. If I see the point wobbling, that lets me know that it's not sitting in there right, which could mean the end of the arrow is not square, or, you know, sometimes you just get a broadhead with a bent ferrule down here. If the ferrule is bent, it's going to sit in there at an angle. You're going to have problems with your broadheads. Those are the primary problems that cause broadhead inaccuracy.